So I'm sure a lot of you have watched this debate by Jubilee, uploaded about a week ago, and it's basically amongst one vegan and 20 meat eaters, and a lot of arguments, factual arguments given in this video, and I found it to be very insightful, especially as a vegan, and I'm always like looking for new opportunities to like learn new arguments to sort of argue with meat eaters. So I definitely did learn a lot through this video. So if you've not watched that video yet, I definitely think you should. And yeah, today's video is going to be more of like, what exactly are my thoughts about this debate? Like, was it productive or was it not? Or what are the deeper meanings behind the arguments given by a lot of the meat eaters, right? So yeah, I think one of the things that I would like to point out is when this guy right here, he said that there is a difference between senseless and meaningless harm towards animals.
One of the biggest causes of not being able to
You're
feed
talking about a
people.
massive problem across billions of people, across many geographies, and I think what you bring up is probably true. But at the same time, I don't think the solution to it is just either you're vegan or you're not. And what I mean to say is this about suffering, is that when you take care of people with strokes, heart attacks, domestic abuse, bear attacks, they're also violent predators that eat all sorts of things in addition to us, you start to understand that there's two types of suffering. And I think that's the most important part.
There's
two types of suffering. There's senseless suffering and there's meaningful suffering. And I think what you have to understand is that when you can create meaning behind suffering,
There's gratuitous
you can
suffering. That's the main thing.
transform it.
He's basically implying that the only purpose that animals have to exist is their positive contribution to society, as in them being a source of food for us. And there's literally no other purpose for animals to exist. Is he trying to say that like animals basically they have no meaning, like there's no meaning to their life, only human beings, only our lives have meaning, and they kind of put human being in this like superior state of being, and that like if I'm superior then I'm able to do whatever I want to something that's inferior to me. And that's just such a flawed way of even viewing anything in life, and especially that's such a horrible way to look at other creatures. When you see things from his perspective, he just thinks that the only reason animals exist is because they are here for us to consume and to be taken advantage of in any and every way possible.
I think killing plants is murder, though.
Oh, dude, don't do this. Come on, you're joking.
You're
trying.
ripping it from the ground. You're ripping it from its mother. It's murder. And I enjoy the trivial pleasure of doing what the lions, with the hyenas, with the tigers have done for history.
So you think plants can feel pain?
Yes, they can.
So you want to reduce that pain?
It's like a lot of these arguments are like not only cognitive dissonance, but it's also very much moral disengagement, which is a term coined by Albert Bandura. And he says that it's basically when people try to justify pain by minimizing the impact of it, like the plant life matter and like a lot of other stuff. Like it's like all of the arguments like pointing towards that animals do not really feel suffering, and even if they are capable of doing so, we just don't really care. That's like essentially the mental framework that they're coming from, and that like they don't like, I don't know, it's like a lot of people just don't care that animals are capable of suffering. They're much like rather disconnect from that fact. It's like, don't try to tell me that they are capable of suffering, because then you're going to make me look like a bad person. So instead of accepting that animals are capable of suffering, I'm going to do everything possible to kind of show you that animals, they might be able to suffer, but we're human beings, we're apex predators, and we're on top of the food chain, and we're superior in every way possible to everything in this universe. We are the best, we're the top, better than the stars, better than animals, better than the soil. We're just the best, like apex, woohoo, whatever. and it's like, okay, we have like the one side of the argument saying all of this stuff, and then out of nowhere, after after deliberately justifying how animals are superior, sorry, well, I do think animals are superior, but like after deliberately justifying that humans are superior to animals, they go on to say things like, oh, but the lions and the tigers used to hunt and eat other animals, so I'm gonna do that. Hold on a second, didn't you just say that you're superior to animals? And then the next second, you're like, I am equal to animals, so I can do what animals do, like, because if you're doing the same thing as I am, doesn't that make me and you sort of the same or like equal to each other? What's the point of you saying humans are superior to animals and apex predator, whatever, top of the food chain, and then the next second you're like, I'm gonna do what the animals are doing. I'm like superior to them, but I'm gonna do what they're doing. I'm meant to hunt and like have all this animal like instinct to murder and to kill and to abuse. So I'm gonna follow that natural instinct to do so. And I'm just like the animals, the animals are doing it, so I'm gonna do it. But then I'm also superior to animals. So like if you're behaving just like an animal, so in what way are you trying to like say that you're superior to animals, if a 40-year-old adult is behaving like a child, and then the 40-year-old adult says that he is superior to that child, is that even a reasonable thing to say? Like, does that even make any sense? I don't think so, I really don't think so. And one thing that I hate out of everything is that it's like, why are we trying to so desperately minimize um the suffering of animals and to try to equate them to plants? They're trying to equate animals to plants, and being like plants life matter, and it's like, who are we trying to fool, essentially? Like, why are you trying to equate animals to plants? Like, is that what you're trying to do, or you're just trying to be like, I'm going to cause harm because it's necessary for my well-being? That's why they say like, oh, eating plants is murder, you're murdering the plants. Essentially, they're just trying to like voice back to us, like to vegans, what we are telling them. It's like we're telling them eating animals is murder, and they're trying to use back the same logic and tell us that eating plants is murder. And then they want us to say like, oh no, I need plants to survive, I need to eat them. And then they're gonna be like, hi, I caught you, I need animals to survive. So we're just the same, but we're not. We're really not the same. You are murdering animals who have a central nervous system, have the ability to feel pain. I am not murdering a plant. There's no evidence of a plant having being able to feel pain. There's no evidence of that. And you just completely disregard that and go on to continue to say that, oh no, plants do feel pain, when I don't water them, they do feel pain, they die and all that. Like, what do you even like? Where are we going with this? Like, do you want us to be like, yeah, you're right, animals, they're just like plants, and so I'm gonna stop being a vegan today, I'm gonna eat meat because from this logic, animals are just like plants, and if I'm murdering plants, then I should maximize my harm and to also murder animals, because I'm being a hypocrite, if I'm advocating just for animals and I'm eating plants. Like, is that what essentially they're trying to convince us of something that we want to convince them of? We're trying to take animals off of their plates, but they're trying to put animals back to our plates and to be like, you're not doing anything, you're still a bad person, you're still murdering plants, so might as well eat animals also, or that you're no better than us, we're just the same. But we're not. We're never going to be the same. And I'm not saying that in a way like I'm a vegan and I'm superior to like other people. It's not in that way, but ethically, being vegan is always going to be better than consuming meat. I've never seen a video of a carrot crying because the baby carrot was taken away from the mom carrot. I don't know. I don't know. I've never seen a video of like of a corn running towards the baby corn and being like, don't take my baby away from me, like, or like tearing up. um Never seen that. If you have, like, please feel free to link that video. I'm like very curious. But I have seen videos of cows, of mother cows crying and chasing after their babies because you're taking them away right after birth for human for dairy consumption. Like I've seen that, I've seen those videos. So please don't try to justify your horrible acts of cruelty by deflecting it and being like, and villainizing vegans for caring about animals. Let's just not do that, because you're not convincing anyone, not even yourself, by doing that. So yeah. I'm not I'm sorry if I'm coming off as a little bit too, but I am just being honest, and it might offend some people, and I'm totally comfortable with that. So yeah, to conclude this video, I don't know, I think it's a very, very informative video, and I've watched it like 5 times and I'm never bored of it. And yeah, shout out to Jack Sims. I'm sorry. Just shout out to Jack, yeah. Shout out to Jack for being so great in like handling all these arguments and throwing out facts. Like I could never. Yeah, that's good job. Thank you for doing that. And yeah, that's all from me. Bye.